Good. I'm glad to see that everybody's so busy as it got here today. I've heard more talking about important things than we usually do, and I'm just guessing that might be because there's a lab that's due on Thursday. A couple of people came to my office hours, several people came to my office hours, and the most helpful thing I found for virtually everybody was to read very slowly and carefully in my deep, calmly assured voice the second hint at the bottom of the assignment. And so I'm going to do that now, even though I know you've all read it. Now that you crunch the numbers, this is the time to think about it. Okay? So another hint. Compare the age and sex distribution of the slaves who migrated over the 1850 to 1860 period with the age and sex distribution of the population from which they were drawn. That is the population that could have migrated. If Vogel and Engerman are right, how should these distributions look? Should they look the same or different? Okay? So I'll just leave that there. We've told you in step-by-step detail how to calculate these net migration rates, but it's the last step is to figure out how to tie those to Vogel and Engerman's claim. Right? So that's the part that we're leaving to you, and it's very doable. Okay, so if you still have problems with calculating those net migration rates or anything else, I will be available after class, and also Alma and Savet. So we'll have a little informal meeting outside in the hall after class if you have further questions. Okay? Do you have a more general question? 11:53 p.m. on Thursday. Okay. There's no particular significance to that. I just want it before midnight, not after midnight. Okay. Because I stay up all night reading them. I'm really only half kidding. I'm going to spend quite a lot of time with them before Friday. We're going to look at them in class on Friday. I will have looked at them by that time. So that's why I really need them. Thursday at midnight. I can't really push it to say 2 o'clock on Friday. Right? Okay. The second thing is on the course calendar that for today I asked you to read a short piece by Thomas Jefferson and a short piece by Alexander Hamilton. I understand that there are other pressing things and that you may not have read it. So if that describes you, please discreetly rifle through your backpack, find it, or surf over on your iPhone or something. But if you can take a look at those, in about 10 minutes or 15 minutes, I would like to have a little bit of a discussion on those. Right? So maybe you'll be lucky and be sitting next to somebody who's read them real carefully. But if you can, and at the same time pay attention to me, please try to read those. I won't be too hard on anybody who hasn't. I understand the situation. Okay, today's topic is immigration and naturalization in the first decades of the Republic. So, as that title implies, we are just about finished now with the colonial period, and we're coming into the period after the foundation of the United States, and we're going to start to see political trends that echo forward. So things are going to be a little bit more familiar. We're not going to be so focused on the differences between Virginia and Massachusetts, although we will in this lecture. That's going to fade now. We'll be talking much more about the national experience. I'd like to start with this quote by Thomas Paine, who was a fairly important figure in the Revolutionary period. He wrote a pamphlet called Common Sense, which sold very, very well during the Revolution. And I believe this is from Common Sense. It says, "O ye that love mankind, ye that dare oppose not only the tyranny, but the tyrant, stand forth. Every spot of the old world is overrun with oppression. Freedom hath been halted round the globe. Asia and Africa have long expelled her. Europe regards her like a stranger, and England hath given her warning to depart. O receive the fugitive, and prepare in time an asylum for mankind." And this, I like this quote. This is, I believe, the origin of the term asylum for mankind, which, although we don't use it so much today, was used a fair bit in the 19th century, early 20th century. It captures an idea that it is both in the interest of the United States and in the interest of humanity in general, for the United States to be a place that will receive people who are seeking freedom. I think that idea still resonates. I think that is a basic American idea. And I think it's useful for us to trace that all the way back to the beginning of the Republic. This is written, after all, during the Revolutionary War. Now, as we'll see today, it's a little more complicated than that. It's not the case that everybody in the revolutionary generations, as we said, come to America and vote. There were definitely nuances. In some sense, this is propaganda. This was a pamphlet, after all. He's trying to encourage revolution. Thomas Paine always encouraged revolution. After the American Revolution, he went to France to encourage revolution there. And he's a guy who liked revolution, let's say. And he is, as we'll see, very much at the extremes of the debate. During the war, this is good propaganda, right? Because it not only rallies Americans, but it also rallies everybody who feels oppressed by the English. And as we saw, after England's fabulous 18th century, there are a lot of people who fall into that category. So the idea that the English are this, are telling freedom to depart, that's a plea for help, or at least support of some sort, from the other people who don't like England. And chiefly among those would be Irish, and to a somewhat less extent the Scots, who are part of the British Empire, but are not at that point, especially the Irish, as we'll see, are not treated very well. Okay. It also doesn't quite describe the way the United States has been. The colonies during the colonial period have indeed welcomed immigrants, but there have been some limits. With the exception of Maryland and Rhode Island for brief periods, Catholics were never welcomed. Right? Convicts were welcomed, as we know, in South Carolina. They were white, but that's about it. And similarly, after the American Revolution, loyalists were not welcomed back. Many states made laws against that, even though, as we'll see, the treaty that ended the American Revolution guaranteed the rights of loyalists to return. So it's a little bit qualified. It doesn't exactly describe reality. It's a good propaganda story. But there's also, as we say, a certain amount of truth in it. This is a nuanced topic. There's a lot going on, and that's why we have a whole lecture today on it. So the main point of today's lecture are these: that immigration and naturalization policy in the first decade of the Republic was shaped both by circumstance and by ideology. We've just seen a little bit of the ideology. We'll talk a little more about that. But I'll also explain the circumstance, that is, politics played a somewhat bigger role. And so the way we're going to set up the story is we're going to talk about all the different actors and how they saw it, and then we're going to run through what actually happened in 1790 and see which side they came out on. All right. And secondly, the effects of the debates and policies made by the founding fathers have had tremendous effects. Tremendous effects at the time, and still have effects today. And those effects will be seen somewhat throughout the course. Let's see. So, outline, use of the founding generation. As I said, we're going to talk about who saw it which way. Then we'll see towards the Constitution and its ratification. this debate comes up, as we'll see, debate on immigration, or actually it will be on naturalization. We'll talk about the difference. Comes up very early. It's one of the first. It's an issue that's taken up with the very first Congress after the Constitution. But there are also hints of the issue coming up both in the Declaration of Independence and the Northwest Ordinances, which is a law passed during the Revolution under the Articles of Confederation. Then we'll get Hamilton and Jefferson to sort of outline the debate. These two really represent the first party system. Hamilton being the Federalist, and Jefferson the so-called Democratic Republican. The names of these parties are going to change a whole lot over the course of the course. I am sorry about that. But these two guys are emblematic. They really represent important positions. So that's why you have two short readings from each of them on the issue of immigration. And then we're going to go through the 1790s. We'll actually have the House Naturalization Act of 1790 that we'll talk about, followed by another one in 1795, makes only small changes. And then this is the interesting stuff, the Alien and Sedition Act of 1798, which I think still surprise people today how this happened. These acts are very much not in the spirit of democracy and free speech. I hope we get through all of this today, but I'm not optimistic. Okay. So, where's the declaration? Okay, I think I'm missing a slide here. The first slide I would like to show but don't have is on the Declaration of Independence. And where immigration appears is in one of the clauses. The Declaration of Independence is basically a long list. It's a really cool preamble, which is about a fifth of the document. And the rest is a long list of grievances against the King of England. Right? And one of the grievances is, quote, that he hath endeavored to prevent the population of these states, for that purpose, obstructing the laws for naturalization of foreigners, refusing to pass others to encourage their migration hither, and raising the conditions of new appropriations of land. It's possible that they're being deliberately vague about these. He hath endeavored to prevent the population of these states, and for that purpose, obstructing laws for naturalization of foreigners. This comes up. This is the reason that's important, naturalization of foreigners. As I'll point out in a moment when we talk about naturalization, which is mostly what we will talk about today in terms of the laws of 1790. It's not about immigration, it's about naturalization, that is becoming a citizen. It's not whether or not you're allowed to come to the United States, but whether or not you can be a citizen. And the reason it is important to the founders is that if people cannot be naturalized, then under common law in this period, their assets at the time of their death would accrue to the state. They would be, so as they say, escheated to the king. That is, so what this means is that wealthy people are not going to be interested in coming to the United States. They're not going to be able to, they're not going to want to acquire land and property here, because unless they can be naturalized, then upon their death, they will not be able, their children will not be able to inherit it. Even without will. Even with or without will. Yeah, right. This matter, this is it's not, I think it's probably mattered more to them than it should have, because after all, rich people weren't generally looking to migrate. But it was an issue nonetheless. The second thing he's accused here of is raising the conditions of new appropriations of lands. What that refers to is a decree at the end of the 7 Years' War, which is also known as the French Indian War, the war wherein England got Canada. After that war, the king prohibited European settlers from moving to Ohio. Right? He set aside Ohio, the land north of the Ohio River, for Native Americans, which seems, I think to us, is a fairly enlightened policy, but our fairly enlightened forefathers did not see it that way. They saw that as a huge drag, basically they wanted not only to go there, they also wanted to speculate on land there, and some had already. So there were actual losses, financial losses, as a result of that declaration. Okay, so this is the tenor. I bring this up only to point out that there is concern at the time of the Declaration of Independence about immigration. In a previous draft, the immigration, Jefferson also accuses the British of slavery, which is another of imposing slavery on the United States. But that was too cheeky even for his colleagues in Congress, so that did not make it into the final draft. So that's the extent of the Declaration of Independence. It's there, not a huge issue, but it's there. There is a recognition on the part of the revolutionaries that population growth is of some importance. In 1787, which is after the Revolution, but under the Articles of Confederation, the Northwest Ordinance is passed, and this is at this point the land north of the Ohio River is in the hands of the revolutionaries, and they do not respect the king's wishes that they not inhabit it. So they're busy kicking out the Native Americans, and they, in order to do that, to fill this land, they declare, they pass several laws which grant religious freedom, due process, trial by jury, and the right to vote with very low property holdings to residents. You don't even need to be a citizen, just to plain residents. And this, the argument here is that each land is more or less equal to this idea of asylum. Okay, sorry, slides are a little bit disorganized here. But this position is noted, all right, that from the point of view of Phineas Bond, who's the British consul at the time in Philadelphia, I won't read his quote, but he clearly sees this as a threat to European countries. This idea that the U.S. is clearly trying to lure European subjects rather than citizens, subjects to come to the U.S. with the promise of very cheap land and all these rights. This is something that he uses this asylum for free and industrious labor, he uses that term. So there's this tension. We can draw a line there from the Declaration of Independence. We can see the tension rising. The founding generation is definitely interested in seeing population increase. They're particularly interested at this point because now, as an independent nation, they see at their boundaries, they see still French and Spanish held territory. So the last thing they want is a lot of open space there. They really want to build it up. They want to grow. And this is clearly a technique that they're using. And once again, it's not only cheap land, but it's a riff on the asylum idea. These are badly out of order. Sorry to say. All right, I think let's turn to Jefferson and Hamilton at this point. Sorry to break this so badly, but all right, well, there's enough information here. What I would like you to do now is to we're going to break for about 5 minutes while you talk to the people near you about this question, right? Basically, what Hamilton and what Jefferson, what do they agree about, what do they disagree about? The readings are short, so if you haven't done them, you can scan pretty quickly on your iPhone. That would be great. I'm hoping that in 5 minutes we can make a little bit of a list here, and I want to use that to frame the further discussion about where this debate, what they were interested in 1790. Okay, so talk amongst yourselves.
I enrolled in the class. I'm wondering if it's okay, if it's too late to do so?
It's going to be tough. See me after class. Okay. I'll help you figure it out.
All right.
Okay. Okay. Can we come back? All right. Can we start with a quick show of hands? We had to decide: do these guys agree on more things, or do they disagree on more things? Let's see. Hands if they agree. I think they agree more than they disagree. Okay. Disagree more than they agree. Okay, great. There's a large plurality who would say that they disagree more than they agree. Okay, that's good, because then we should be able to generate a fairly good list of things on which they disagree about, even though these are short pieces. Let me know to start with it. Well, I agree with you that they disagree on quite a lot. They span at least one dimension of the spectrum of opinion at this time, and it's worth noting that one of the things that the United States is lucky about in this period is that the spectrum of opinion is really not that broad. That none of these people, for example, could be described as royalists, and Europe is full of royalists at this time. So even though we're going to isolate their disagreements in a really broad sense at this epoch, these people are pretty close together, right? Which makes sense because they're on the same side of the revolution, right? Okay, so a volunteer. What's the biggest point on which these groups disagree? Or let's go right to disagree, because we don't have that much time. What can I put here? So that I don't have to make a slide for next year. What's the key point on which you say that they disagree? And again, I want to talk about, yes? Very good. Okay, so to repeat it for the microphone. Jefferson